you are. Miss Nicole truly is an angel. She shows great wisdom in guiding others, and she has already sent word to Natlan on our behalf. She said that while the other members of the Hexen Circle are busy with important work, she is quite free, and she is more than willing to accompany the people of Sumeru for the entire journey. Oh, yes, Nicole, all right. Always super patient and loves to help everyone out. She's the best. She is. So kind and enthusiastic. Well, time for us to get going. Let's head out.
This should be one of the closest places to Natlan in all of Sumeru. There's the barrier Nicole and Nefer mentioned. It completely cuts this nation off from the others. But why? Why separate you from the rest of the world now, specifically? And if I'm not mistaken, Irminsul was polluted once before, wasn't it?
I'm wondering the same thing myself.
That voice. Moika! You got here pretty quickly.
Hello, traveler. It's been a while.
Hello there.
Hello, Dendro Archon.
Moika, I apologize for asking you to meet at the border in such short... I also apologize for not being able to greet you in person. The form in which you see me now is one carried by the Traveler. Irminsul has been infiltrated by the Doctor. We must be on our guard, as he can spy on information in the world from within the tree. Fortunately, there is no record of the
My records will be preserved in the Night Kingdom, rather than the ley lines. As long as the Night Kingdom remains disconnected from the ley line cycle, the Doctor has no way of knowing my movement.
Exactly.
So by meeting each other in this way, the meeting essentially never happened. No wonder Paimon didn't come. You were concerned that her activity would be... The Natlanese have heard about the situation in Sumeru. With the borders sealed off, merchants have been forced to stop their shipments. It's pretty serious, and you're the ones bearing the brunt of it.
I'd like to address the question you raised at the beginning. I can offer a brief explanation. I don't reach this conclusion gladly, but... Irminsul predates the Heavenly Principles. It existed long ago, when the dragons of Natlan were at the... So even when the people of Sumeru became ill because of pollution, it was not a critical issue from the perspective of Irminsul itself. As long as it continues to function normally, the barrier will not be activated. But this time, the Doctor's invasion has directly affected the tree. That is what caused the barrier to deploy. The Heavenly Principles established a rule that when Irminsul is plunged into grave danger, a portion of power will be reserved to isolate Sumeru. That way, even if Sumeru is destroyed, the outside world at least has some time to catch its breath.
We'd certainly need it.
The Heavenly Principles created almost everything that exists in Teyvat today. To them, preserving the existence of the world and its inhabitants takes priority over protecting Sumeru.
Meaning, protecting Sumeru now falls to you.
Yes. My own power may be limited, especially compared to yours. But that doesn't mean that we're just gonna sit around and wait for the end. If necessary, I will utilize any and every means at my disposal.
Nicole of the Hexen Circle didn't say exactly what this meeting was about. But after hearing everything you've said so far, I think I can guess where this is going.
That's right. Nahida and I discussed it at length. We both know how presumptuous this is, but...
You need the Pyronosis, don't you?
Yes, you guessed correctly. Originally, I only intended to borrow it, but the situation is far graver than I foresaw. So instead, what I ask of you is to please give the Pyronosis to Sumeru.
Why do you sound so nervous? There's no need to be shy.
Surely a gnosis is pretty important to a god.
I guess, but it's not as if losing it would suddenly render us powerless. But I'm sure you don't need me to tell you that. With all the nations you've traveled to, and all the gods you've met, you must have realized that by now. As far as I'm concerned, a gnosis is basically an elemental energy enhancer. But I don't usually use it. You know me. I like to think I'm pretty strong without it.
Yeah. Not about to dispute that.
So you see, you don't need to sweat it. Here, take the Pyronosis.
Just like that?
Uh-huh, just like that. To tell the truth, I've always toyed with the idea of giving it to someone who needs it more than I do. I know you accompanied Nahida here to try and increase the chance of success. It's a good thing you did, because your involvement is one of the main reasons you've managed to persuade me.
Are you sure about this? Handing over your gnosis just because of me?
I won't try to quantify it, but trust me. Handing over the gnosis to Tumaini is far from the craziest idea I could think of. Besides, even if you hadn't come here personally, I think I still would have agreed to Nahida's request. Irminsul doesn't just affect Sumeru. It impacts all of Teyvat. I know all too well how difficult it can be to protect the things you care about. So logically, morally, or however you want to cut it, helping you is the right thing to do. You don't need to tell me the specifics of your plan. Where the gnosis is involved, the tighter the secrecy, the higher your chances of success.
Malika, my heartfelt thanks go to you and the people of Natlan.
Don't mention it. But now, for the hard part. How do I actually give it to you? The Irminsul barrier is right in the way.
I have an idea.
Just as I thought.
Incredible. What did you do?
Just made a lucky guess. This seems to happen quite a lot. Things that apply to everyone else don't seem to apply to me. I figured the same might be true here.
Irminsul usually produces effects based on the records it holds. Since the Traveler is a Descender, Irminsul contains no records of her, and thus has no way to impede her.
Is that right? You really are full of surprises. Catch.
Whoa! Thank you, Moika. Thank you for trusting us with something so important.
All right. No need to get so formal. It's not like we're strangers. Besides, there's still one problem. You might be able to pass through the barrier, but I don't know about the Gnosis. Any other surprises for us, Traveler?
Let me try something. I have the Pyronosis in my hand. It feels strangely ordinary, not particularly heavy. And yet, this tiny thing symbolizes the mighty authority of a god. I need to think hard about my memories of Pyro. My memories of journeying through Natlan. All those important experiences I've had.
The Gnosis disappeared. Traveler, are you alright?
I'm fine. The Pyronosis disappeared into my body, just like phlogiston.
Maybe it resonates with you because you've mastered the power of phlogiston. You might not be recorded in the ley lines, but you're still our Tumini.
Whew.
Please allow me to express my gratitude once again, Moika.
Pleasure. Well, I've given you all the help I can. The rest is up to you. Good luck.
We won't let you down.
Yeah, we aren't about to lose.
Traveler, Paimon, how are you feeling? Paimon's a teensy bit nervous, but only a teeny tiny bit. Seems like she's gotten way braver over the last few years, huh? Of course. After all the adventures you've had with the Traveler, I'm sure you've gained a lot of experience and grown as a person.
I'm doing all right. What about you, Nahida? How are you holding up?
With the negative effects of Irminsul, I'm a bit like a piece of fruit that's been burrowed into by hungry insects and left to rot. I'd be lying if I said it was nothing. But please don't worry. We all know what we're getting into, and we've prepared as well as we can. I believe in everyone. I believe in you. And I believe in myself. Stoking the fire inside oneself is certainly one way to live, but knowing when to rely on one's companions is also a form of great wisdom. I've been quietly learning little things from everyone, like plucking tufts of fur from a sumpter beast.
Me too. With the constant traveling, I'm always learning and growing. That's the journey of life.
I think there's someone else here who would share that sentiment.
Don't worry about what I think. I was just passing by and happened to overhear your conversation.
What are you talking about, Hat Guy? This is the top floor. No one passes by the top floor.
Says who? You can fly just like I can. I would have thought it makes sense to you of all people.
I don't know why, but I feel a little more relaxed now.
It shows that you feel comfortable laying down your burdens in our presence. It means that Sumeru is a place you can trust, where you know we have your back. And we feel exactly the same way around you. That's what it means to be friends.
Ah, it's finally done. Ugh, but I have a nagging feeling that there's something I've forgotten. Oh, there you are. Everything wrapped up on your end? Okay, fair enough. That was a pointless question. We were working in tandem, after all.
You must really be exhausted.
Well, it's been a busy day, for both of us.
When work ends, you clock out. No looking back.
Yeah, we're definitely due a break. Probably a little late to start drinking now, though. I'll stick with water. Here, this one's for you.
Thanks.
You want a bite to eat? I can grab us something. Or wait, I think there's a stove nearby. Let me take a look.
Are you nervous?
A little, yeah. Unlike you, it seems. How are you not feeling at all nervous?
Because everything that happens next is beyond my individual control. I don't worry about things I cannot influence.
What do you mean, cannot influence? You're the one who came up with half of the strategies we ended up using.
There's only so much I can do. I was only doing my duty.
Was it like this last time, too?
You mean with Azar and his accomplices? Yes and no. The situation back then was easier to control, but we weren't as prepared as we are this time.
So the enemy is stronger, but so are we. I still vividly remember the way you interrogated me in the library after the fact. Where were you when Sumeru needed you most?
If your memory is so vivid, you might also recall that it was you who came looking for an argument. You're often the one who initiates these things, you know.
I came for a conversation! I didn't know it was gonna turn into an argument! Anyway, at least I showed up this time. So, what do you think?
What do I think? I think we're certainly better off for it.
It's good having me around to help out, huh?
Absolutely. As a citizen of Sumeru, you displayed a remarkable sense of responsibility in the face of disaster.
Certainly feels that way. I just shudder to think how the world would have ended up if we hadn't gotten control of the situation. So, do you think this is what impending disaster looks like? The sky is so clear, and there isn't a whiff of decay or destruction in the air. It's hard to imagine that the fall of humanity could happen on an ordinary day like this.
Awful things happen all the time. Sometimes people can stop them, and sometimes they can't. What you and I have done is increase our chances of stopping this one.
Lofty ideals may provide no defense at all against nihilism, but perhaps little decisions can. Oh, nothing. It's nothing. I hope everything works out tomorrow.
It will. As long as we stick to the plan, our chances of success are good.
It's really strange.
I think it's mostly a matter of temperament.
Ugh. Walked right into that one, didn't I?
Something on your mind, Miss Nefer?
Nothing in particular. It's just... right now, the future feels strange and unfamiliar.
But the future has not yet arrived. How can you say how it feels?
Some people know that there's an impending disaster. Others remain blissfully unaware. Each group is imagining an entirely different future while walking towards the same one. But when they get there, they'll still find they feel differently about it. People are shaped by their circumstances. Different circumstances create people with different perspectives.
I've always found the perspective of the Vahumana Darshan to be a particularly incisive one.
Even at the height of the crisis in Nodcry, people held diverging opinions. But things are different this time.
Indeed. Regardless of faith, gender, wealth, skin color, or eye color, everyone in Sumeru knows what will happen tomorrow.
The world has never been an especially fair place. Yet now, against all odds, a moment of unprecedented unity and equality is about to take place. It's fascinating. If only my father could have lived to see this era.
Era. To me, that term represents a much greater span of time. It can be an unsettling word. I would even say I'm afraid of it.
Do angels even feel fear?
Yes, at least I do. I fear the gap that grows wider with each. Time renders all memories insignificant and reduces all splendor to nothing. But those memories are the one thing I do not want to lose.
You're very human in that regard.
If angels draw too close to humanity, our wings burn away in the bright flame of awareness, and we fall to the earth. After
Maybe you're more human than some humans are.
I've been talking to Kale a lot in recent days. We seem to be in completely opposite situations. I suppose that makes...
Case studies for who?
Myself, I suppose. After comparing the two of us, I suddenly discovered that I desired more than before. It was a gentle, pleasant sensation. Just as most people pursue glory and miracles, I too am pursuing miracles of my own. Guiding humans to make the miracles in their hearts a reality. That is my miracle. It doesn't sound so bad, does it?
I have not felt this way in a long time. Standing up high, gazing out at the rolling dunes. One cannot know what freedom truly means without first losing it.
The golden slumber truly lives up to its name as a dreamland. Though desert sands exist there too, no mirage, no matter how glorious, can compare to true beauty.
Dendro Archon, what is on your mind?
I was wondering whose counsel I should seek on the questions in my heart.
What kind of questions?
So many. More than can be put into words. As I once said to a friend, we look, we see, and we comprehend. But the question still troubles us. What are the many disasters that this world faces, but this...
The biggest question you should be asking is how to seize victory.
Yes. Although, I would express it differently. I must not fail. And so the...
What we declare to be a young sapling, we may, in fact, find to be a towering tree, if we would only cast aside our ignorance and look beyond the veil of time to see her true form.
Nahida! We're here! Just in time.
Ready when you are. We're here too.
Miss Nicole! Miss Nicole! You run... I thought I'd get a lot of exercise as a forest ranger, but I can barely keep up with you.
Sorry, I got a little carried away.
Lesser Lord Kusanali, the equipment is ready, and the modifications to Aru are all complete.
As discussed during our meeting...
Accessing Irminsul via the Akasha is no longer feasible at this stage. There are other options, it's just... maybe you should take it from here.
The architecture and functionality of the Akasha terminals overlap considerably with Aru. There is reasonable evidence to suggest that one was developed based on the other. As long as the transplant and merge operation succeeds, Aru should theoretically work on a scale greater than the Akasha and approximately equal to Irminsul. It will become the largest active computing device in all of Teyvat. A system this powerful is capable of a lot of different things. In the past, the Akasha was primarily used for one-way information transmission, but I suspect it could also serve as a central bridging hub. In the pursuit of greater knowledge, some scholars have attempted to connect their consciousness to Irminsul through the use of terminals, incense, and meditation.
Correct. In academic language, scholars who reach that stage are said to have entered Satyavata life. Hypatia has performed this practice many times in the past, and she was once under my care for a period of time.
Right. And this at least proves that there is a zone within Irminsul that can be connected to.
That's right. Providing wisdom to the people is one of the very reasons for Irminsul's existence. I think I understand where you're going. Please, continue.
In that case, I'll skip to the conclusion then. We need to further modify Aru, merge it with the Akasha, manufacture terminals, and distribute them to every single person we can reach.
Every person? Even the desert folk?
Yes, everyone.
I've already calculated the amount of raw materials we need.
So you mean we're going to get new Akasha terminals?
Yes, but this time the people of Sumeru won't be using them to acquire knowledge, just to connect to Irminsul. That's the key.
When we evacuated the city, we brought all the important assets from the House of Dana, in case we ended up needing them. Fortunately, this included the Akasha system's main terminal. We've checked all the relevant records, and one thing is certain. Nothing like this has ever been done on this scale before, so...
Everyone in Sumeru is part of the plan. Whoever controls the people controls the situation.
Since this function of Irminsul was introduced, it has only ever been made available to scholars, who don't constitute a particularly large group of people. But by expanding the scale to include all the people of Sumeru, all the individual connections will stack up to create a significant load on the system. Under normal circumstances, Irminsul would be able to cope with the additional load. But with it already being under strain from other activities, its remaining capacity is limited. Thus, it might be possible to shut it down completely by overloading it. Counting down. 3, 2, 1.
Are you ready?
Ready!
sought knowledge, they turned to the Tree of Wisdom. Today, we use it to save Sumeru and the whole world. These boughs that nurtured learning must not become tools for destroying the world.
Shut down Irminsul just to stop me? You fools. I have all the time in the world.
great!
What a display of true courage! The courage to think and the courage to act! I never thought I would witness the shutdown of Irminsul with my own eyes. Perhaps this is human wisdom?
Indeed, only humans could do such a thing. Gods are few and far between.
What was once created for spreading knowledge is now used for another purpose. A rather ingenious plan.
I am grateful to you three for your help. Only thanks to you were we able to extend Aru's interference capabilities to cover all terminals. Now, nobody who wears a terminal will have their activity accurately tracked by Irminsul. No matter how many eyes Дотторе possesses, he will not be able to see us clearly. Now for the next step. I will need the help of your supreme powers once again.
How might we be of service, Lord of Dendro?
I need to reach the Eternal Oasis immediately.
Right now?
In that case, Ibis King, would you agree that this is a fine opportunity to dust off our old tricks?
Never. I assume you have that chess set with you?
You mean the one you gave to me as a gift? Asking for it back, are you?
How could I? You misjudge me. I just wanted to show you another way you can use it. Connect to Safei Shatranj.
Safei Shatranj? You mean that place in the desert?
Thoth's chess set gains its power from the chessboard laid out in the desert by King Deshret and ourselves. All ceremonies conducted using the chess set must be activated via Safei Shatranj. In other words, the chess set is an extension of the chessboard. In the past, moving a chess piece was a sacred and momentous act.
Transfer initiated. Entering live combat mode.
We haven't heard a single word from our spy in the desert. I'm afraid he might have been captured.
Never mind.
But we spent years turning him. And a lot of Mora.
Nothing comes for free in this world, but the loss is not without its purpose. For a small price, we have wasted a precious amount of the limited time they have. Quite a bargain, if you ask me.
Understood.
Weighing profit against loss is a necessary part of life. But to tell the truth, I have been operating at a loss since this all began. Since many centuries ago, in fact. For instance, why would a banker act as the executor of a will? If you hadn't deposited your personal belongings at Northland Bank, I would have no reason to be here right now. Dottore, I've placed your final data backup into the ley lines as per our contract. I trust we are now square for the safe deposit fees you paid.
Is it not a little petty to split hairs like this, given our amicable relationship?
I consider sound bookkeeping a matter of principle.
Do not forget that you only live to see this day thanks to me. In fact, every day of your life since you met me, you've been living on borrowed time.
Why, that's hardly a fair assessment. I will concede that my survival was perhaps at your whim, but I became a harbinger on my own merits. Managing money is not like other professions. Mine is not a role I could have acquired based on your recommendation alone, and certainly not one I could have lasted so long in without genuine ability.
The information stored in the ley lines is quite comprehensive. Rest assured, I have not forgotten how strong your pride is. Well, I presume you have no sense of fragmentation while talking with me?
How could anything possibly go wrong with such strict measures in place? The remainder of your soul was split in two, with one half sent to Nodcry and the other stored in the most secure vault of the Northland Bank. Though I must say, your disdain for the other segments is quite amusing. Zandik is you, and you are Zandik. Zandik created the segments, yet you, a segment yourself, reject him.
That is, Zandik, created segments of various ages in his later years. To achieve this, he had to freeze time and part with a portion of his soul. But as constructive as it sounds, it erases my uniqueness. If each segment is equally me, then by the same token, none of them are truly me. A soul living forever in the past inevitably holds different views than he did in his later years. The same thing that completes me also restricts me. You too might ask yourself which stage of your life you want to be preserved at. The day your business failed? Or the day you were framed by a gang and sold off to a medical lab as a test subject?
We needn't dredge up the past.
This undesirable plan was eventually scrapped. Lesser Lord Kusanali was quite right. I needed an opportunity to eliminate myself. And after that, I concluded that there was no more effective plan than directly splitting the soul. Once the soul is transferred out, you will find that creating a physical body is far simpler than creating a puppet.
The other half of your soul suffered a crushing defeat in Nodcry, you know.
And yet in the process, I obtained the information I always wanted, did I not? Because now we finally know where the best testing ground truly lies.
I once thought your ultimate goal was to ascend to godhood. But as it turns out, that was merely one of your experiments.
Experiments take many forms. Most people are too eager for success, too fixated on the end goal. They forget that the experimental process itself is just as important. A suspiciously vacant seat, a new face. I trust you can put two and two together. The reason it doesn't exist is because someone tampered with the record.
What can I say? After all your efforts, you really did uncover the world's secrets. So, is the new world you promised a lie?
No, it never was. I am glad to be able to control Irmin's soul from within. Now I shall attempt to create a new world inside the existing one. Almost everyone faces the prospect of death. But not a single person has ever been able to experiment unrestrained in the afterlife through sheer force of will. I am the only one to have overcome this enormous challenge. Would I not be letting the world down if I didn't make the most of the opportunity to experiment?
Clearly, the dividing of your soul did not affect the magnitude of your ego. Out of all the versions of you that have ever existed, this you is the most insane and the most radical.
Is that why you chose to work with me? Which was it then? My insanity? Or my radicalism?
Could I call myself a venture capitalist without a suitably ambitious plan to invest in? Yours happened to fit the bill quite perfectly.
Well then, I must say, while I am surprised enough that you showed up at all, what surprises me more is that you chose to present yourself as my former subordinate, and not as the banker Pantalone.
Why make things harder than they need to be? Exposing my true identity in a situation like this would only serve to destroy diplomatic relations between Snezhnaya and Sumeru. I daren't imagine the consequences. Showing up in the name of the original antagonist gives you the recognition you rightly deserve, while also being sensitive to Snezhnaya's predicament. It was an easy win. As for why I'm here, if you're suggesting that your credit is in the negative, I won't argue with that. Many people say that about you.
I'd argue that a significant factor in your willingness to cooperate is the fact that you have but a few years of life left after my death. living and dying together has a way of binding two parties together rather closely. Is it not true that a relationship should be judged by both the positive and negative returns it yields?
So some of what I said actually made it into your head after all. It's true that I hope you don't die too soon, but don't you find that a strange thing for me to say? After all, you've already had quite a long life, especially for a human being.
Let's not pretend that you're any more innocent than I am. Are we not the same in this regard? We both despise the existing laws of this world, and neither of us enjoy being under anyone else's control.
Is it really so greedy to want the world to operate by a new set of rules?
Of course not, my dear friend. And as I've said before, mutual interest is the foundation for the most reliable of relationships. You can attest to that.
I just hope there never comes a day when I have to work too hard to prove that.
Regrader, sir. People have been spotted approaching Sumeru City.
How strange. Despite your access to Irminsol's data, it appears the soldiers noticed before you did. They must have found a workaround. Well, Dottore, I trust you know what this means. The fact is...
They're coming. They'll breach the city gates any moment now.
But even so, I would say Irminsol is a wonderfully convenient thing on the whole. If you do manage to create a new world, perhaps you could plant one outside my office, too.
I'll consider it.
What do you need me to do? Stall them?
The experiment will take time. Stall them for as long as possible.
Very well. But you're really asking for the moon here. Have you heard this story? There was once a guilty man, kneeling in the center of a church while an angry mob outside waited to bring him to justice. He pleaded with the gods, begging them to grant him one final request, the chance to finish confessing his sins before he was sentenced. Many suns and moons passed, seasons changed, and still his confession continued, as if he intended to speak until the end of time.
Are you suggesting I worship you as a god? Or were you hoping that I might confess my sins to you?
Certainly not the latter. That would make my life miserable indeed. What's on your mind?
The limits of humanity. It's a pity. Despite running countless calculations, I find there is simply no way to reduce any further the amount of one's soul required to sustain an individual.
It's rare to hear you admit to being unable to achieve something.
I beg to differ. For instance, as I've told you before, the original me was prone to motion sickness and couldn't make long train rides.
Ah, yes, of course. One of the reasons you often sent yourself out on errands. What are you thinking about now?
A new experiment. In the event that my soul was depleted, say we extracted my data from someone else's memories, yours for instance, and then combined it with your intact soul as the base material, what would we create?
Such a scenario would be impossible.
Oh?
As long as your current soul survives, there will be no need to create a new individual. Don't forget, you were the one who approved of the present situation wherein only one Dottore remains. And if you ceased to exist, who would be capable of performing this experiment?
Since the day I met you, you've always excelled at talking your way out of a quandary.
Isn't it a little too early to be saying goodbye? Not that I wish to keep you from your business, of course. Very well. Let's leave the conversation there for now.